Adaptations. We love most of them, don't we? Well, it just happened that adaptations of two popular and beloved franchises released in the great year of 2025, and their ideas for adapting these franchises could not be more different. So today, I'd like to review these two movies and see how they stack up against each other. The winner at this point could be either, honestly. At least I think so. This part of the script was written before a Minecraft movie came out, so I don't know what the quality of that movie is like. But anyway, Dog Man. Dog Man is a book series that has impacted my life in a very impactful way. I was this kid who had just moved to Okemos from DeWitt when I entered kindergarten, so I didn't know anything about my new surroundings. But then I started hanging out with this kid who was by the mini tube thing. We became great friends, to the point where one fateful day, he invited me into his house. And there on his bedroom desk lay the fourth book from that one series they advertised at the book fair that one time. God, I loved book fair. I read it, and it was unlike anything I had ever read before. Coincidentally, there was also a subplot in the book about making a Dogman movie. And from then on, our friendship was built off this book series. Now, the kids at my school didn't agree on everything, but a common thought that literally every child in the entire building shared was that Dogman was indisputably go. That didn't really make sense, but you know what? We like it. The books inspired a bunch of kids to create their own comics, and in third grade you were allowed to make a comic and put it in the book box for other kids to read. It was the best. The books ranged from stories about sentient chicken nuggets who became dead at one point for some reason. By the way, I asked the kid who made the books what possessed him, and he was like, I don't know. To truly impeccable concepts like the most creative masterwork of our century, the Green Block. My favorite thing about the books was that every new entry would star a different colored block. Godlike. And we owe it all back to Dogman. His book series was the glue that held everyone's imaginations together. Crops grew, families thrived, Skibidi Toilet wasn't a thing that existed. In fact, reading those books was how I learned to draw stuff. Like this OC for creative masterworks you see right before you. More importantly, that mini-tube kid from earlier who goes by the name of Liam worked with me to create our own comics about ourselves, entitled Sam and Liam. This is the styling of the logo for every book, and it's so nostalgic. Liam and I always talked about rebooting the comics and turning them into videos for all to see, and Sam in these hypothetical reboots is the same one from the Warty books, who is the same character as CM from my LEGO stop motions. So all this media is connected. Cohesion hype! Woo! But you're not here for self-promotion. The only people who came here for that are 40-year-old men with neckbeards who live in their grandmother's basement. I'm talking to you, guy. But before we review the movie, I think it's only fair that we bring along the very boy from the mini tube himself. Ladies and gentlemen, Michigan's very own Cartoon Lemon. His channel name is just Lemon, but that's not the full name we call it. So yeah, just roll with it. Oh, and also there's an underscore between Cartoon and Lemon.
It seems today that all you see.
No, literally any other song, please.
There is a car, and it's going to hit me.
Yeah, we'll go with that for your intro.
Better, faster, stronger. I am Steve.
First off, insert obligated spoiler warning here, if that wasn't obvious. So, this movie is probably not anything groundbreaking if you've never read any of these books, but to two extremely obscure internet dweebs whose entire lives were built off of this book series, we were just enamored by how seamlessly this movie ties together the first 7 books.
Every single little thing about this movie was handcrafted to create something. Sam, I was running out of adjectives. Can you help me out?
The movie has a deplorable, ruthless, contemptible supervillain. Can we talk about the movie yet?
So I feel like there's no way to discuss this movie, attention to detail, without mentioning the fact that they have Dogman speak like a goddamn dog. They didn't go for the "we hire a popular actor to make this guy speak English" trope. They were committed to making this movie as accurate as possible, so hat people would think of it as like the first trailer, where it took a couple more trailers for a certain other movie to get people talking. But enough about trailers. Let's get to the actual movie to start Dogman's struggles in the movie. They're very investing. He becomes this crazy popular super cop that everyone loves. He's also coping with the fact that he has to leave his previous lives behind him until the mayor comes into Chief's office and tells Dogman and Chief that PD always gets out of jail no matter what, and her solution is to have the only cop who's ever doing anything about this get off PD's case. It's kind of stupid, but I'll let it slide because it's in the books, and she's straight up the bad guy. And we got Life's not fair to that scene.
But then, in his quest for world domination, Petey creates a clone of himself who goes to Dogman's house. They become great friends, and it seems like all Dogman's troubles are over. And then Petey and ADHD take little Petey back in the dead of night. And then Dogman goes searching for him, but little Petey also invites Petey's dad, and while that's happening, Chief's dead fish comes back to life and he creates an army of buildings. And yeah, this movie's probably all over the place, but I still had a lot of fun watching it. The emotional beats were friggin' fantastic, and the background references were great. One nitpick I do have is that it compiles a lot of scenes from the books together, and there's not really a lot of original jokes, which is a shame because what original jokes we do have I actually really like, and I wish the grandpa was used more, but that's water under the bridge. If you've read these books, give this movie a watch. You might get something out of it. I'd give it, screw it, 7.9 out of 10. We'll see how that other movie stacks up in comparison. Ah, Minecraft. If you have a YouTube channel and have made a single gaming video, there's no question. You've absolutely played Minecraft before. I think it might be legally obligated. Ringing bells is fun. My personal first experiences with the game involved me being 6 years old and going on creative mode and watching TSMC Minecraft tutorials, which I still watch to this day, actually. I don't remember my real first attempted playthrough of survival mode, but I do remember my first encounter with a monster like it was yesterday. I was trying to mess around with TNT, but keep in mind I was 6, which meant I was brain dead and didn't know you needed flint and steel. So I spent like an hour trying everything I could to activate the Ta'anta. Nothing was working, and I got so angry that I jumped into the nearest body of water to drown myself. And that's when I got bamboozled and absolutely bodied by a drowned. So that's my level of gaming in a nutshell. Lemon, please tell me yours was any better.
My dad taught me how to use a pickaxe.
Let's just move on. Okay, spoiler alert by the way, but Rob was in the movie. They show here his shop and it cuts to the inside of the store where Rob dominantly sits next to that one headphone thing that you yell fire into. My eyes lit up as I realized that the developers of this movie had taken my complaints from the which Smash characters have been in a movie video to heart, and I discovered that this movie was made specifically for me. Not you,
What?
not Hermione, me. Oh wait, he was in the Super Mario Bros. Movie the whole time and no one noticed except Aaron Itmar. Had I watched his Easter egg video about the movie fully, instead of going to Rob's wiki page, we could have had a world-ending crisis averted. Oh wait, it is. See, I updated the tier list. Oh!
Sam, focus!
Okay, jeez.
I'm sure we all remember that fateful day when we were just browsing YouTube, having a good time, and then this trailer pops up for a Minecraft movie. Holy crap, it's actually happening. And then you read the comments, and it's stuff like Minecraft story mode walks through this movie could trip and fall off a cliff, or bold move of Warner Bros. To enable comments on this video. Or my personal favorite, Warner Bros. Can you make the Minecraft movie like the Mario movie? Okay. Trailer comes out. We meant the one from 2023, not the one from 1993. Oops, but more and more trailers began to come out, and people were starting to see things differently. Maybe this was going to be a good movie. So then we watched it, not in the same theater, unfortunately.
To start, the acting wasn't terrible. I think Jack Black and Jason Momoa were really carrying the whole movie, and I don't really have anything to say about the other actors. Their characters are just kind of there anyway. I think Henry giving the Iron Golem the boots of swiftness was important, but I've only seen the movie once and I don't remember.
To the movie's credit, I was definitely never bored while watching it. Steve and Garrett are written in such an enjoyable, dumb ways that I can't help but love it. And of course, the most Northwire thing about this, watching this movie in theaters, is everybody says Steve's quotes and then claps.
The plot is exactly what you'd expect from watching the trailers. The characters teleport to the overworld where they meet the funny guy from Smash Bros. And he sings about how awesome his KFC is, and also tells them that they will need to stop piglins or else the Minecraft world will wither and die. Haha, real clever guys. I thought some of the jokes were, trying. I like when Technoblade, Jeb, and Dan TDM showed up. There's a subplot about Jennifer Coolidge falling in love with a villager, and it's great. I don't like that the creepers only explode when the characters hit them. Like, how do you mess up Minecraft's most iconic mob that got a me costume in Smash? Is in the goddamn logo, and is the styling of these sunglasses that became my signature look. I think that last example is actually why I'm mad about this, honestly.
The Alex scene at the end was great. And yeah, I think that's the entire movie talked about. You're not good at writing lengthy movie review scripts, are you?
I am not. So that leaves the big question. Which one is better? Dogman, I guess. It actually takes source material seriously, it's faithful in most capacities, and Minecraft is just a funny movie to gawk at and go, he said chicken jockey, and as for accuracy to the source material, dude, I hate that Terraria scene with a passion. Not only because this movie is one of those things that thinks Terraria is just 2D Minecraft, but also because the diamonds are found like 2 blocks below the ground. No wonder Steve already has the armor. I can't even begin to imagine how you get Elytra in this world. So yeah, thanks for joining me for today's video, Lemon.
No prob, Bob. Now I'm gonna go play Forsaken for hours on end.
Sounds good to me. Wait, did you just call me? La lava chicken. Steve's lava chicken, yeah, it's tasty as hell. Ooh, mamacita, now you're ringing the bell. Crispy and juicy, now you're having a snack. Ooh, super spicy, it's a lava attack. Ew. Ew. No, 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 no,